Okay, next I'm going to go and export each and every one of these as an individual graphic. Now, before I export it, though, I'm going to tell Photoshop how to name these little graphics or these slices that I have made here. To do that, I'm going to actually name each slice. So I'm going to go back to where the slice tool is at here, and there's one called the Slice Select tool, which is under the crop again. Under Slice Select tool, I can select the slice and go underneath select, where's it, under layer. There's a way to get slice options. Okay, yeah, it's up here at the top of the page in the options up here at the top of the toolbar up here. Using the Slice Select tool, I can select a slice, okay, and then I'm going to go up to the slice options, which is this little icon right here. In the slice options right here, I can then designate it a name. And so in the name right now, I'm going to change it to, this is going to be film, no spaces, underscore normal. Okay. Normal would be when the person doesn't have the mouse over. And then the next time that I do this, I'm going to have it where the person rolls the mouse over. It'll be called film over. So that one's normal. I'm going to select the slice, the crew slice. It's this little icon up here at the top of the page here. If I click on that, and this is going to be crew normal. And then I'm going to click on another one, press. Use this icon, and this will be press normal. And hit OK. Then I'm going to click on join and go to this icon right here. And this will be join normal. So after naming each and every slice, I'll be ready to save this. Now, to save this out, just like remember when we used the crop tool to crop the top banner to its own graphic, I'm going to use the same thing for each and every one of these buttons. Now, I'm not going to crop each and every button. I'm going to draw out a box around the whole button area. To do that, I'm going to use the crop tool. And once I have the crop tool selected, I'm going to draw it around each and every one here. I think this is right. Let me zoom in a little bit, make sure I'm nice and tight on each and every button. That looks normal. So I drew a box around the navigational bar that I've made by using the crop tool. When I'm done using the crop tool, I hit enter. Crops out everything else but the navigational bar that we've made here. Let me move it over a little bit here. There we go. So next I'm going to save this out. Now when we save this, we're going to save it as a team. What I mean by a team is we're going to make a folder called images, and we're going to save it as a group. Okay, so in this case, if I go under now, and I'm going to go underneath the file, save for web and device. Under there, I'm going to select all the slices. Okay, if you want, you can hit Control A on the keyboard, and it should select all of them. No, it's not selecting them all. I did that inside of Apple. Control A. That didn't work. It worked inside of Illustrator. How about we draw a box around them all? So the reason why I wanted to do that is so that I could select them all. By selecting them all, then we could then give it some settings. And one of the reasons why they allow you to select each slice is so you can actually compress it a little bit differently. But in this case, I'm not going to compress them all differently. I'm going to compress them all the same. So I'm going to select all the slices by drawing a box around them. You can see if I select one individual, you'll notice it gives you the color palette and all that stuff for it. That's okay. I'm going to select them all by drawing a box. Then I'm going to go under colors. I'm just going to reduce it down to maybe 128. I don't think they need to be that high. And if I zoom in, I can see it doesn't look too bad. It's pretty solid colors for there. So it's a nice look for all my buttons. Now, one of the things you might do when you hit save here, when I hit save here, it's going to go to another window. Now in this other window, what it's doing is it's asking you how you want to save this, okay? I'm going to save these out as both HTML and images. You'll see there's an option called HTML and images right here under the Save As type. So when I go to the HTML and images under Save As type here, Then I can give it an HTML name. That's okay. I might just give it. I'm not going to use this HTML. I'm just using this option so that it'll take each and every graphic and put it into a folder called images, and I'll show you how it does that. So this is going to be normal state. And then if you go underneath where it says settings right here, you'll see there's custom, background, image, default, HTML, and other. And if you choose them right now, I just choose other right now. You could choose HTML. It'll take you into this window. One of the things that this window will do now under the output settings is you can go to where it says saving files right here. See where it says saving files? Under the saving files option, you'll see it says put images in folder called images. So what that's doing is, and that's fine, I'm going to leave the default right here. What it's going to do is it's going to take each and every one of these. Remember, I named each and every normal, film normal, crew normal, press normal, join normal. It's going to take each and every one and put it into a folder called images. Okay, so I'm just going to use HTML and images. I went to default settings. I didn't really change anything. I just wanted to show you where it was at. I called it normal state HTML, and if I hit save right now, it's going to go and save them. What has it done? So let's minimize and see what it has done. Let's minimize and see what it has done. Let me see if I can find it in my messy desktop here. It's a messy desktop, messy desktop. It's in here somewhere. I think I called it Telltale Note. There it is. And inside there, you'll see it. And let's look at it by list. You'll see it made a folder called Images right here. And inside the folder called Images, you'll notice it has 4 graphics. Crew normal, film normal, join normal, press normal. See that? Okay, good. So now we're going to go back to Photoshop. Go back to Photoshop. And in this case, I'm going to go and turn the eyeball on for each of my effects. Okay. I'm going to go back to Photoshop, turn the eyeball on for each one of my effects. Remember the effects with the red glow around it that we did originally? And I'm going to do the same thing. But before I do that, I'm going to name my slices differently so I don't override the original ones I made. Remember, we called them over normal and stuff like that? So I'm going to use my slice select tool. I'm going to select my film slice, that is this first one right here. And I'm going to go to the option that we had before here. And remember, we called it film normal. This time we're going to call it film over. Hit OK. Crew. I'm going to click on the crew using the slice select tool. I'm going to click on crew, and this one will change to over. Press, change the option, over. And then under join, press, over. And then hit OK. So after I've changed the name of each one of my slices, I'm going to go and save this again. Now I have red glows under each and every one. So if I go under File, Save for Web and Device this time, I'm going to select them all again. Let's leave the 128, I believe is fine. Yes, it looks good. So we're going to leave all pretty much the default savings, and I'm going to hit Save. And then let's call this HTML, what did we call it last time? Normal state. Let's call it over state. Believe me, we're not going to use the HTML, but do you remember when it was going to put the images into a folder called images? We're going to leave all the default settings here, because what it's just going to do is it's going to add to that folder. It's not going to override the images folder. It's just going to add new graphics into that folder called images. So if I hit save right now, and we go and minimize again, let's go look at our images folder. Oh, now I have 2 of each. 2 of each. How did it do that? If we look under view and list again, let's look under list. Or thumbnails if we want. We have a normal state for the crew button and an over state. Normal state for the film and over. A join, over. Press normal, over. And so by doing that really easy in Photoshop, by using these different options, you're able to export them out, making slices and that. And then of course, just like we did before when we cropped the banner, what could we do up here again? We could go back to the undo. Well, let's step backwards. Uh-oh. We're going to take a while to go back, isn't it? There's a lot of undo. Hey, maybe we can go into the history. Under history, we can go back to before we made our option. Oh, there it is. Yeah, remember we made the crop. Oh, there it is. There's the crop. So before we made the crop, we're back to our normal. We could save our PSD. Okay, and then we can go. So using the crop tool, cropping areas, slicing, doing all that wonderful stuff, you should be able to make some graphics for web pages. Now, to put it together, let me quickly show you that. In Dreamweaver, remember we have 2 states for each and every one. Again, for this, I'm just gonna to put those buttons in. We could put a banner across. Remember the banner? So let's put that in first. So the banner is under Insert, Image, and I think we had a banner, right? There it is. Actually, let's put it towards the top. There's a vertical alignment top. There we go. Let's hit return. And then to put the buttons in, let's put a table in. Usually I would use CSS and do that, but you're really going to have to take the Dreamweaver class for me to review the CSS and all the other pieces. So to put the buttons in that you just saw, I'm going to use a table. Basically, a table is a way of like sort of breaking the page up into a grid. In this case, we had 4 buttons, so I need a table that has 4 rows and 1 column. So I'm going to go under Insert, Table. I'm going to do 4 rows, 1 column, and let's use, don't worry about the width, and I'm going to do 0, 0 for all the other things except for the table width. 70 is fine. It'll actually adjust to the size after we put our pieces in, and I'm going to hit OK. So basically I put a grid on the page. As you can see here, it's, I don't know why it's not letting me make it bigger, but there it is. Okay, and so then I'm going to put each and every graphic into each and every box. You could see it right here. There's little boxes with a dashed line around it. So my first box up here has the first image in there. And then so to insert the rollover effect, because we have 2 graphics for each button, is underneath Insert, Image Object, and I'm going to say Rollover Image. So to put the rollover image, I'm going to go under inside of Dreamweaver, Insert, Image Object, Rollover Image, and of course for my first one we have normal, and I believe it was film normal, and then film over, right, and then hit OK. So there's the first one. For the second one, I'm going to put my cursor in the second row just by placing my cursor in there. I'm going to say Insert, Image Object, Rollover Image. Again, I can say, I think it was crew was the next one, crew normal, crew over, hit OK, and you can see it there. And then again, we're almost done here. Insert, Image Object, Rollover Image, and we have was it press normal, and then press over. And then the last one we could do would be Insert, Image Object, Rollover Image. We're gonna have join, or yeah, press and then join normal, and then join over, and then hit OK. Okay, so now we have basically a navigational bar inside my Dreamweaver here. And if we save it and test it, we could see what it's going to look like. Testing is that little world that's in there, and of course this is not the appropriate background. So you know, I was teaching you how to do backgrounds. I would probably do a different kind of background. But if you look, I roll over, you'd see it turn red, roll over, roll over, roll over. So you could see the rollover effect that it's doing on the web page by making 2 graphics in Photoshop and saving each and every one. Doesn't that look good? And then let's hit, and that's it.